welcome to Victorious Living, Practical Conversations Rooted in Faith. I'm your host, Ryan, and I'm a licensed therapist.
I'm Josh. I'm the co-host.
So today we're continuing the conversation of men's mental health awareness. And as you can see, we do have our licensed therapist, Mr. Christopher Broussard. So the question that I have for you is, what's something men hear all the time that's actually damaging to their mental health?
Again, I can't speak for everyone, but I think the message gets passed down in variations of ways. But I would say avoidance isn't the absence of pain. It only postpones it.
Can you explain a little bit further?
So it's like, even if it goes back to when we talked about in part one about having those accomplishments,
Yeah.
externally, I'm fulfilling whatever it is that what society deems,
Right.
worthy as a man. And then as a black man, if we, dig a little deeper. But externally, I have those things, but internally, it's something different. Like I'm not settled in. I'm suffering internally. Okay. So, but I avoid the things with my success. I'm avoiding it, thinking that that means I'm not going to deal with that stuff.
Yeah.
And so, or those traumas that I've gone through, the hurt, the pain.
Yeah.
So it only temporarily postpones it until one day it kind of explodes. It's like that soda can. If let's say Josh would have come in with a soda, like, hey, Chris, I knew that you wanted a soda.
Yeah.
But he was like, you know what? I don't like his shoes. And so he was like, I'm going to shake the soda can. And I don't know that it's shaking until I open it up. Okay, so in that point, I don't know if that analogy was good because you're great at the analogies, the analogy stuff. But the point that I'm trying to make is that it only kind of gives, to avoid those things that we've gone through. I'm trying to think.
So what do you, if I can help you?
I guess if I'm not able to express myself, if I can't say what you did hurt me,
Okay.
or I feel this, but versus I just shove it in like, hey, it's okay, I'm cool. But eventually,
It's coming
something is going to come out. It could be your partner, it could
Yep.
be your children, it
It
could be your best
resurfaces.
friend. It could be somebody is going to trigger that. It may not be in your 20s, it may not be in your 30s. It might be in your 40s. It may be in your 50s. But when it comes out, and then we look at somebody and go, "Why did they? Oh, I didn't see that in them." That's because
It was
they were
buried.
they were avoiding that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and in order to heal, it requires honesty. It requires openness. It requires me feeling like I'm in a. People say safe space, but I like brave space.
Yeah.
Because safe space to me is what I deem as safe space.
safe,
Like
yeah.
I told you when you asked me about, I said, man, it's what was the term that I
Symmetrical?
used? Symmetrical.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because that's how my home is.
Right.
But then, but I told you, my peers go, it's not welcoming, but
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
It is, because you get to come and relax and chill.
To you.
To me.
Right.
Well, but it's because they might not be able to kick their feet up the way they want to.
Right.
But you're still in an environment where at least because I have that structure, you're gonna ask before you do. Hey, can I put my feet on the couch?
Yeah.
Right.
And I'll tell you, oh yeah, you good.
Yeah.
If I feel like your shoes not dirty, you know what I'm saying? Like, because if the outside dirty, I know the inside is too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But the point that I'm, but in that, it's based on that view of things.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's what I would say. I'll end it right there.
Okay. So do men really heal or just distract themselves?
Men, it just depends on the male.
Yeah.
It varies. Like, yeah, it's honestly. So let's look at the history of mental health. Like let's look at it. So it's been in existence. I don't know how long, y'all. You know, if your listeners try to correct me and be like, "Well, I did the research," but I'm gonna say let's just go back to the 1900s. You know,
Okay.
like so it's been around.
Yeah.
And even during those times, there was a Dr. Cartwright. He gave slaves mental disorders. I know one of them was called like drapetomania. It's like basically saying that if a slave wants to run away, we're going to give you a diagnosis. And in order to heal this diagnosis,
Wow.
you have to cut a limb off. You get what I'm saying? So this is the reasoning behind. So when
Yeah.
you're looking at the mental health, there's a dark side to everything.
Yeah.
There's a dark side to any business, any institution. Things, the foundation of how things come up, and
Right.
there's
How
a
that
dark
started.
where
Yeah.
people say like where the bodies are buried.
Yeah.
And so even in our field, and there was another one. I can't think of the name because it's a hard name to pronounce. But it was another one that they gave slaves that if they called us lazy
Yeah.
if you didn't want to be forced into labor. So you're forcing me, but because I don't want to, and I want to rebel against this.
Yeah.
You give me this diagnosis and call me lazy, which is now, it still affects us today, that term.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, okay, we're already behind on right there when our counterparts are going to counseling and learning this, especially now when you start getting into the 1980s, and
Yeah.
we don't know anything about that. Growing up where I grew up, there were counselors. But meaning that the field was in existence, people were going to counseling, but not people who look like me, and there was no one in the field that looks like me at the time.
Yeah.
I don't getting into the field and meeting older gentlemen who
Right.
who are doctors, who have their doctorate degrees and have been in the field. Now you go, but it's that was few far in between in
Right,
the
right.
70s and the 80s for them
Yeah.
to be doing that, right? So now we didn't have it. I didn't have that exposure.
Right.
But the exposure that I had was that men who went to prison did 15, 20 years because of what they did in their past, and they came out they wanted to be mentors, and they were trying to guide us to not get into the gangs
Right.
and not join this, and how to not act impulsively.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you got to think through the 80s. We still don't know about it. But then guess what happens in the 90s? The counseling field starts to kind of boom a little bit.
Yeah.
What ends up happening is black women. Now, black women are ahead of the curve before men. They started to get into the field of counseling. They're going, oh, there's a way that we can heal from this?
Yeah.
This is in the 1990s.
Right.
Okay. And then in the 2000s, more black women were getting exposed to it. Now,
Right.
but remember, this has been going on since the 1900s.
Yeah.
We're talking 1990 and 2000 era.
Yeah.
Where now black women are starting to go. Okay. Now we coming into the 2010 era.
Yeah.
Now it's social media and Black Lives Matter and this and this. Now we're starting to understand. So you're talking within this 2026, 16 years, now men are starting to recognize and see, oh man, this is something wrong with the way that I'm thinking.
Right.
Or you're acknowledging
self-awareness.
because our women are doing it in some extent.
Yeah, like they're catching
And
up.
they're catching, and so, but we're way behind. But that's still not even when we start really joining into it. We started to, but COVID happens.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Nowhere.
Now everybody in the house, everybody. I can't mingle with my friends. I can't do. Who can I talk to?
Yep.
Especially those men who don't mind being single, but you can't. I mean, who play with different women,
Right.
should I say, or mingle with different women.
Right.
Now you're going, or in any relationship, whoever you choose to engage or who you like, you
Yeah.
know. But now you're going, I can't even. This person telling me no. This person telling me no. Who can I talk to?
Yeah.
And now we're starting to get in touch with, because we're alone majority of the time, we're able to look at the man in the mirror, should I say.
Yeah.
So this is where there's been an incline in men's mental health
Yeah.
across the board, but then especially in our community. But this is the thing. According to not, I was about to say the NAACP, but so now I'm not even gonna try that because I don't want you people looking up my facts and stuff. But I do know percentage wise, 16%, 16.2% of black people, African Americans, are in therapy as opposed to our counterparts, was about 28 to 30%. But again, we're still behind. Look how old the field is,
Right.
and we're just now getting into it.
Like getting into the rotation of it.
Getting into the rotation of it to acknowledge that, hey, because most of the time we're gonna look back, it's when we turn 60, 70 and be like, oh yeah, I kind of did that a little wrong. But it's too late now. Ain't nothing I can do. You know what I'm saying? Like I shouldn't have did that. You know what I'm saying? And not to there's no shots at anything, but I would say this before counseling, most of the time, most men and then black men I'm going to speak to, we only learn how to be men in 3 places: prison, church, and possibly school if we go.
Wow.
Barbershop.
Yes, I agree, but the men that were in the shop still either went to one of those 3 places.
You're right. I take it.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have that guy who spent 15, 20 years, like I said, he's trying to give back to the community.
Right.
You're going to have your pastors or your bishops are, coming in trying to give you the religion, the spiritual aspect
Right.
of it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Or you're going to school.
Yeah.
And then you're around other, because you only get exposed to it once you go there.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because before I went to college, I thought most, it was going to be my counterparts there. And then I go there, I was like, oh, what's it? It is. We up in here. We turning up. They got the fraternities and sororities and all that type of stuff. So it's like, but that's where you begin to develop that and understand. But now there are those brave spaces for, it doesn't take me from birth to 18 until I go to college to figure this out.
Yeah.
Or it's just not in a faith-based home, faith-based house where you're telling me this way and then that's it. Or I have to go through life and go stab a man.
Yeah.
And then go to prison to learn that impulse isn't good, brother.
Yeah.
Not just to react off of impulse.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Want to be like more proactive, which actually leads into my next question, which is how do we change the narrative, just among the culture, really just men in general? How can we change the narrative of therapy?
Oh man. Go ahead. Go. Yeah.
Give an example of a man that is healed, and you've seen him open, right?
Right.
You don't see a lot of men's life, like we tend to be white, black, Asian, whatever, right? Most men go in the woods and you see them and prime example, right? Give an external journey, right? We would have bet money and would have lost that you grew up with Project Roots. Just you see him at this phase, right? You meet him as a therapist, you meet him as a father, you meet him as more matured as a husband, healed, right?
Yeah.
But you ain't know him 18 when he liked to shoot dice, when he had 4, 5 women, when he was in his college days, hoorahing, So to know, and then it kind of goes into know him then and to know him now, right? Dog, therapy did that for you?
Yeah. Yeah. What's your take on it?
It's so many things that even as you're saying that, it's one of the things that I'm jealous of, but I also love that sometimes that with women, and then especially black women, that they'll be there to support one another. They do the trips, they do certain things, and they have that community.
Yeah.
Whereas we men, we don't do it. And if a guy does try to, and I'm in that spot where I try to build those connections, and you look a certain way. That's why most of my good friends are really women. Like my best friends that if we sit down, we chop it up, we take trips together, all that. These are women that I've grew up with since the age of 15. And so, but one thing that they do provide is that they listen, they share with an open heart. You know, it's lack of judgment.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just a one shot. Hey, everything gonna be all right. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Like how Josh said earlier. Like, hey, all right, let's go, bro. Let's do what we gotta
keep it
do.
moving.
Nah, and it's having those. But now that I'm getting, as age comes in, my friends from the past, now we sitting down having those powwows. Like, yeah, man, I've been cheated on. Like, if a woman is cheated on, she's gonna tell her community. She's gonna tell her friends. They gonna do trips together. We go through it, man. I ain't telling nobody because if I stay, they gonna clown me. They gonna clown me if I stay. So it's no. But now, man, some of my partners, because we can't create that space for one another. Sometimes we'll do it. When we do get together, it's, man, bro, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, man. Let me tell you what happened.
Yeah.
And then when they're sharing, we can truly open up and what it's like to age. What it's like to be in a relationship that, hey, what I was taught back then, that being a man was what they call that, where we become martyrs to our masculinity. That I was forced to shove down parts of myself to conform to what everybody says that I am.
This is what it should be.
I should have women. I should have, it's certain that I should have success. That box again.
Yeah. Yeah.
But nobody said, no one expressed that, hey, having emotional intelligence will help you understand your partner.
Yeah.
Those types of things. So I guess an open heart, a brave space where someone could listen to you.
Yeah.
Where you feel that space where I know that when I express here, no one is going to cause me harm, and I'm not in my thoughts and my feelings are not going to be used against me.
Yeah.
Just, I would say, I need to know that I matter.
You see me.
And I need you to see me, but I need the people that I need to see me sometimes need to look like me. Man. At the same time, like when most school teachers, there are counterparts and they're female. Okay?
Yeah.
So if I'm a young male, then a young black male going through these hallways, I'm never given the benefit of the doubt that I made a mistake. Nah, this is who you are. Period. Even though I'm only in the 3rd grade.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Like being labeled.
Yeah, being labeled. Men started to, even in the counseling field, think about all the forefathers of counseling, they were majority men.
Yeah.
And then it switched over. Just like when I was growing up, there were still men in the classroom and black men in the schools.
Yeah.
The coaches, they had about 3-4 coaches. They was putting it on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these things that they were your social studies teachers. They might not have been the core. Right. They wasn't teaching you math and ELA, but they were there. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So even when they were strict and I wanted to rebel against them because I didn't have that male figure to show me right or wrong, but I still got to see me in them.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so even when I made a mistake, they set me down and talked to me. They just didn't write me off as this. So understanding that I matter as a child, I need to know then. I needed to know Chris mattered then. And then growing up, my friendships see me, my parents see me, give me that encouragement, tell me that, man, you're a handsome young man. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
to build that self-esteem up.
Positive affirmations.
And the thing is, but I need to know that I matter in school. I need to know that I matter in the judicial system. That I'm just not going to go to court and you're going to lock me up for one mistake. Yeah. Or when I get pulled over, am I nervous? Even though I know I don't have anything, nothing's going on, but I'm just nervous at the simple fact that am I going to make it home? I need to know that I matter.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's really good. Thank you for sharing that with me. What's one conversation men desperately need to start having with each other?
Leave that funky woman alone. Pause. Bro, that woman is not good for you, bro. Get you another one.
to me, it kind of goes back to that emotional intelligence.
Okay.
That that you don't have to be what society set out for you,
Yeah.
and that you can recognize what you feel,
Yeah.
understand it, and then process it in a healthy way. That closed fist theory doesn't have to be the way to do it. Breaking down doors, like no, let's the punching. But I don't want to kick the door down. Let me open it and discuss it. Let's walk in. Let's walk in together. You know, because listen, I was impulsive too. You know, man, the hardest time in my life is when I open up the door for me and my father. Man, I 2015, I remember it like it was yesterday. You know, broke, didn't have anywhere to live, pillow to post. I was in school at that time too, was it? No. I already had graduated, earned my undergrad. I had just signed up for the master's program. That's what it was. I'm fighting a case. So, me and my ex separated at that time. All into 2015. I have no money. Period. Like nothing. I'm living at my grandmother's house and a couple of homeboys, and one of my homeboys had bed bugs, so I had to clean up the whole house. I've always been neat. I'm a neat freak. So it was hard for me to sleep in there, but I was able to do it because I cleaned up. I got it. I got it in. I was like, bro, you got bed bugs. Let's do something about this, right, for real. But I'm going from different places, and then at the same time, I'm fighting a case for my life. Like if that case, if I didn't fight, and I had to pay a lawyer with no money. So listen, there's certain things that I won't say, but certain environments that I grew up in, I know how to get it. But it's only enough to get this done, to get this paid for. I'm able to meet these needs, pay this bill, but I'm getting it.
Okay.
So, and then one night it happens. I attempted suicide.
Come on, man.
And then I survived. And I had a roommate. I ended up getting my own place. I had a roommate, and my homeboy's 10 years, I think he's 10 years older than me. And I just broke down to him one day, and he was like, bro, I've been there. Like, man, he was like, Chris, man, I'm living with you. Like, I'm living with you. But, when he started breaking down things, he was just there. He didn't even really talk much. When I cried in front of him, he was like, bro, I know what it's like. I know, like, I remember exactly what you crying about. I did that 20 years ago or 10 years ago. You get what I'm saying? Just being able to understand, like, we ain't got to fix it. I ain't trying to fix it because it's not going to get fixed. I got to go through this. But having that, again, listening, open heart, free of judgment. This is what he's giving me. That space. Just being there. And I'm talking to him, and then that's why I say they teach you in school not to be transparent. I'm transparent. If I can relate to you that way, that's what makes it, and I don't share that with everybody. And going through those things, and did I want to die? No, I just wanted the hurt to stop. I didn't feel like the case that I'm fighting, because I know that if this goes through, the stuff that I want to do in my life ain't gonna happen, because I'm gonna have that jacket on me. You get what I'm saying? And on top of that, the woman I've been loving 13 years, we done. You get what I'm saying? Other trauma. And I know Josh can relate to this one, and I always share this with my my female counterparts, my friends. I say, for us, we don't take a woman serious that you're done with us until you stop being intimate with us. When the intimacy is gone, see, I don't care if you're intimate with me once a year, in my mind, I still got you.
Facts.
You for me.
Right.
Possessiveness.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But you for me.
Right.
Once you cut that and we see that it's gone, we out of there.
Yeah.
Mentally. So all these things, one big gumbo. It was nothing but a pot that I just kept covered. It was meant to boil over.
Yeah.
And that's the day that it happened. But my partners, a few of them showed. They definitely showed. One of my good friends, he came. He's like, bro, I'm tired of seeing you like this. You know who you are.
That's what's up.
My nickname, my nickname in the hood is News.
News?
It's been with me since I was News, like the news station, since birth. That's my name. If you know the old me, that's how you. If somebody calls me Chris, you came in my adult years.
Right.
It's that nickname where you like, bro, I thought that was your name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that was your name. You know what I'm saying? But that's truly not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my partner was like, man, I'm tired of seeing you like this, bro. You know who you are? Like, but when we was young, you was that.
He had to remind you.
He had to remind. But he also, for lack of better words, he had to put me on my feet too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm forever in debt to him. But the crazy part is, this the same friend that we don't even talk to this day for something very small.
Life.
You know what I'm saying? Life. There you go. I like that.
But he played his role.
But he played his role at
Yep.
that time. Like, yeah. For we were cool for 20-something years before this happened.
Interesting point on, I could kind of backspin on that, right? I've had some low moments. I won't say that I had a moment where I felt like I wanted to hurt end like that, but and there's no judgment, my brother, that I think that's beautiful to come to that and have those open people. Like, I had people that I looked up to, right? And it's not many people I look up to, and it's people because I don't have a hateful or jealous bone in my body, but it ain't too many people I look up to. Like, I don't do the Bill Gates and all them because they got money. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
Right? I like your story. Tell me that you was a crackhead and then now you like I can admire that, right?
Yeah.
Tell me that you still struggling with, I can admire that, but you just having some money, I can't be bought. Going back into some of the core people that poured into me, turned on me, and the only answer I could get was jealousy. People that I would hang with, that I slept at their house, that I ate with, right? People that I let work on my house, people that I poured into, that I would tag them on social media for business. And you were mentioning something about jokes. I'm a joking person just to joke. If I don't purposely put nobody down. If I'm coming for you, you know I'm coming for you. But I don't have to throw a subliminal joke to tear you down. It's not in my character.
Yeah.
Right? I don't have hate in my heart.
Yeah.
That's why I be so adamant on I'm gonna get you. I don't have hate. I'm not a hater.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get you. So
And we're going to give that to God.
yeah, we working on it because God been taking people like again, all of my prime ops, I've been watching like, ooh, God sent this one to jail. Ooh, this one's still struggling. Ooh, this one.
Well, you have to
lose
let
everything.
life do what life is going to do, and
In reasonable fashion, right? Because as men and with respect, right, you gotta do certain things because women, they won't respect you if you don't. That's since the beginning of time. So certain things you gotta do to certain people.
But look at this. Here's the reframe in this. You said that there are people in your life that you poured into, and then they kind of, either portrayed you or they did something or said something that you didn't approve or that you didn't like. I look at it as God just removed those people because where you're going in life, they just can't go.
I
And there's
appreciate
exposure.
that. As somebody that just got back here with God, right? These some of the same people will try to tell you about God. So you got to see where I'm at, right?
Right.
So it's like, Jesus, you let me roll around with your name in their mouth.
But see,
right?
this is why it's important to watch the fruit that a person bears, because anybody can talk about God, but really it's about your character, and it's also about the fruit that you bear. Because some people may be having rotten fruit, so you have to look at their character, their nature, the fruit that they have. So that's just a way.
I respect that. You can look at all that when you're healthy. But if you're in the position that my brother was in at that time, I got this jacket, right? I got this pressure on my back, right? I'm dealing with this hurt, right? and then you call yourself come and get close to me, and you throwing a guard cloak around you, I'm gonna hurt you and guard about y'all get close enough. You know what I'm saying? Just, so I respect it, right?
Yeah.
It's just that people have to be careful on who you fake with, right?
You can only fake for so long, though.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
gotta be careful on who you get around, because it is like you were saying, it's a boiling point, right? I don't want to take it out on a neighbor, on you.
Sure.
If I'm dead set for you, I'm gonna get you. God gonna have to come in that door and grab me. I'm gonna get you, Jack.
Yeah,
And then after that, we could go play golf. We could go be friends. We could go drink coffee, right?
I got you.
I got you too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, hey, we good.
Because you got your look back. We're going to talk about that in another series. But, Chris, you had something?
It was an important part of mental health, right?
Yeah.
Because it is that dude's serious. He ain't letting it go. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a respect factor.
I mean, that can give you a sense of gratification in that moment to get your lick back. But when you start to, like you said, to grow and mature in God, those things, it's just like, I'm going to leave those things to God. But it's a work in progress. I know. So here's my last question. If a man is struggling silently right now, what would you want them to hear? Mm-hmm. You're more of a man.
If you're in crisis, seek your community and then allow them to, give you a little bit of help. One of the things that I've done, and again, it's majority of the opposite sex, my female friends, when they go through something and they want to talk and they're expressing things to me, because as a friend, I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
But what I've done is, even though I can't be their therapist, I'll offer something like EMDR. But like, look, I'm gonna do these two things. But if I continue to talk to you, because this is one thing that I do believe about myself. If I'm pouring into you and you ain't using that advice, I get burned out.
I'll stop pouring to you.
And I'm gonna tell you, look, I do this for a living. You getting it for the free too. If you're not gonna go out and seek other assistance that's needed, professional, then I can't do it anymore.
Stop calling me.
Yeah. No,
On
I
that
wouldn't.
level.
Yeah. But I will. But if I see that you're doing and you're moving forward, I'm always gonna be there, just even as a friend.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for men who, and not just men, for young men, for young black men, young black boys, it's not a strength. And don't think that hyper masculinity is, all the external things. I slept with this many women, or I have this amount of money. That doesn't mask what you're going through.
Yeah.
It doesn't hide it, because again, one day all it takes is that one. Listen, before 30, in hindsight when I look at it, but before 30, I thought my life was straight. I had definitely had my ups and downs, but I felt like I was on the right path. And then 30, took me out that. Like I said, fighting the case, separation, all that, to the point where I was like, man, I just want an out.
Yeah.
I just want an out.
Yeah.
And then was willing to work on myself. That's what actually made me go back to school. Wow. I was counseling myself, and then I found a black male therapist.
Come on.
That happened to luck up. And then me and him started talking. And then it's another thing too. Don't compartmentalize to the point where you ignore other parts of you.
Yeah.
Compartmentalization is a big thing as well, because we'll think that because we have these things here, we'll suppress everything else.
Push to the side. Yeah.
And what that happens is it becomes your identity, and that's why I had to learn how to compartmentalize, but give moments where that space is needed. So, for instance, when I was going through those things in 2015, I allowed court case, but the biggest thing was my relationship. When my relationship ended, the thing is, you have different parts of your life, okay? But you're the core thing in every part of your life.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
me first. Then I'm a father. Then I'm a husband. Then I go to school. Then
Yeah.
I go to work. Then I go to church. Then this is my life. Then I'm a grandson. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So what happens is some people, especially men, will suppress all those things and then identify ourselves with in one of those particular areas. For me, it was my relationship. So when I lost that, I allowed my relationship to now dictate other parts of my life. You
That
see
was
what I'm
your
saying?
identity.
Because what ends up happening is I lost my relationship. I don't want to go to work because I'm depressed. I don't want to go to school. I'm depressed. But see, this is that turning point. I want to end my life because of a relationship.
Right.
Even though there were other things that were going on, but that's the main
Focus.
that's the main,
Yeah.
the main core, focus. There you go. So I'm trying to throw out these big words and getting tumbled up. So I'm like, let me do what Ryan said and just go with this one. But real talk. So I'm allowing that one thing to now control. And what I had to learn was that, okay, let's look at it this way. If I'm not showing up to school, to class, right? They don't call my job and go, Chris going to work? And then my job goes, yeah, man, he ain't showing up to school. Or if I don't show up at my job,
Yeah.
it never calls school. It's like, Chris making A's? Is he showing up to school? Ain't doing that.
Yeah.
But I'm allowing it to do that, right? So then when that happened, that's when I started to allow myself that I'm in control. So this is what ends up happening. The days that I'm depressed and I don't feel, see, women are good at that. And I don't want to make it a man-woman thing,
Sure.
but women, y'all go through some stuff and we'll still handle business, but for us, we need goals and have to kind of break it down and figure out our own pattern
Right.
because of the community. Though. That's all I'm saying. Not saying that there's.
But I think that's even case by case. I think that is if you to even go deep into it, right? Without knowing your past, you was raised on love. Just identifying what you give me.
Right.
And it ain't to judge you. You were raised on love. I was raised on survival. I was raised on points where I've been alone my whole life. So people leaving me don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like, and it's not to belittle my brother. It's just giving reference to the two shades of how one thing can go, right? And I had to identify that, just about when every man called me, bro, I give him 15 minutes to listen, even if I'm busy at work. Because I never know what my friend's going through, right? And I've seen people who have been successful at suicide, and I'm like, damn, I wish that brother would have called me. I mean, cause dang, I wish you'd have reached out. Man, you could have texted me. And I missed some calls, and then I got to call people back because it's my business and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But I know that for men, it's only a limited amount of people that we could reach out to and trust without your stuff getting on social media, without being talked about, and then without being dogged out, without Mad Day coming and regurgitating this back into your face.
Yeah.
So me being connected with brothers like you has gave me that, man, this brother called me, man. Let me at least give him 5 minutes of, man, what you got, doctor?
Yeah.
And he just you wanna let it out, man.
Yeah.
You don't have to, man, you dumb. Man, I learned not to do that.
Yeah.
Man, she cheated on you, you crazy. I learned not to put myself in those positions.
Right.
I just want to listen and be there for you.
Yeah.
What you think? I think you should do whatever works for your household, big dog.
I always hear that from you. Yeah.
Because what I would do may not work for you. And it's going to change the whole trajectory of your life, right?
But not even what you may do. It's you don't know what you would do until that situation
Oh,
arises.
It's so easy.
That's
I hate people do
like
that.
yeah,
I
you
would've
know,
done that.
like I wouldn't.
Okay.
Done that. Okay.
And
Sure.
see what
Yeah.
and then it truly happens. Going as I go back to that as we're thinking about that me and what you being in control of, learning how to compartmentalize. I didn't want to go to school, but I still went. I didn't want to go to work, but I still went. I didn't want to go to church. I didn't want to work on my spirituality, but I still did. And then the crazy thing is, guess what? I still grieved that relationship
Yeah.
when it was time.
Yeah.
When I got home at night, and I was by myself, or when my roommate came in, he called me, Chris, you straight, bro?
Yeah.
And I'm not. Now I'm telling someone.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So now I learn how to compartmentalize and and control when I grieve.
Yeah.
Not necessarily saying that things don't come up.
Right.
You know, but still, it's not going to prevent me from going to school. My friends, my grad friends, some of them know my story, but they didn't know until years after we graduated.
Yeah.
And they were like, Chris, you was going through what? Bro, you was like the happiest, coolest. And I'm like, yeah, you didn't see it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I said, understand, every time I drove to campus, when I was on that hour drive going to Southern,
Yeah.
from Lafayette to Baton Rouge, every time that first semester, every night I cried. Every night. Because everything I was going through.
Yeah.
I had a bottle of Visine. Get in the car. I would get to school about an hour, 30 minutes, about an hour or 30 minutes before class would start. Put that in my eyes. Sit back. Remember when I pulled up? I
Yeah.
told you I was jamming. I was jamming D-boy.
Yeah.
I had certain music hype me up, and then I
Right.
get out the car. You wouldn't have known anything that I was going through. You wouldn't have known that I took all these pills.
Come on.
You didn't know certain things about me.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even with learning how to compartmentalize, but do it in the right way is the message that I would give young black boys and black men, and then men across the
Yeah.
world, just in general.
Yeah.
You know, or however you identify yourself, because
Yeah.
your podcast, I wanted to
Sure.
reach everyone. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and so another thing. I wanted to address something that you said, Josh. You spoke about when you said, man, sometimes I look at people and you kind of hate it on me, but I look at them and I go, man, you still in a bad position. You in this position, or you this. And for me, the term that came up was karma. That term. And especially in our community, we use that. Like if a person does something to me, then that's your karma. Forgetting that we do stuff ourselves. We've hurt people.
Yeah.
And when I look at it, I go, but I had to learn from me, my definition of karma isn't like you can do something to me. Say like you steal my money or something. And then you leave and then your tire gets flat or your car breaks down. Most of us are going to go, you see, because you stole that, that's your karma. Nah, karma is what I give myself. It's my thoughts. You ever felt that guilty conscience when you start thinking about stuff that you did and it keeps replaying and
I
how
feel like
you
that's the Holy Spirit, conviction. That's
yeah,
how
there
I
you
look
go.
at it.
Now,
Yeah.
I was going to say the word conviction.
Yeah.
But that to me is karma, because there are things that and it depends on what it is. Some people can do stuff and it don't even bother them. But then they do it to a family member or their child,
Yeah.
and it just replays over and over. When you're living that in your mind and it depresses you or it gives you anxiety, that's the karma. It's not for me to judge what your karma is as a human. I can't tell you what your karma is going to be, because guess what? I do wrong myself.
I agree. And it's not to that point. It's to say that people go out that way, it's extreme to down you, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Still
yeah.
didn't win. You know, like,
Yeah.
so for me, it's like, look at your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sure.
Joshua's no.
None of us are perfect. Yeah.
He ain't no
Yeah.
archbishop at all.
Yeah.
You know, I got a whole lot more sin left in me.
But Josh, can I ask you this question?
Come on.
What if you look at someone, right?
Okay.
Because they hated on you. Whatever they did, okay, cool. And then they not in the position that you're in financially. They don't
But
have
it's
it.
not even that.
No, but just based on what you're saying, you said your life, but you only know a certain aspect of their life. But internally, they're happy.
Nah. I'm gonna give you something, right?
Okay.
In my life, I hadn't had many enemies. I had a lot of haters. I ain't had many enemies, right? The few people that have done me destructive harm, one thing about me, right? People don't know I study. I'm really a nerd at heart, right? So you got one individual, right, who has an unhealthy relationship with the parent that they're close with, and then the other parent was not connected in their life, right? Okay. So I studied it, and I'm like, this is why your life is the way it is. So it really relieved me of I understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I really understand. Like, you didn't have a snowball's chance in hell. You know? Then you get one individual, right? Daddy wasn't in his life. Sassy, just bunch of gossip, spreading rhetoric about men. And I realized you didn't have a chance either, right? So what it is that it's almost like feeling sad for him. Because it's like, once you really analyze it, right, you look at it to say that they may or may not be happy. It may not be about the materialistics. People will just dislike your joy. Because I'm a generally happy person. I'm a generally giving person. And that draws so much negativity you wouldn't believe.
But see, that's what they want, though. You have something that they possibly want. Maybe it is joy.
Yeah, but so people can't fathom a black man that's happy that's everywhere. It's not new, right? But it's not the norm. So that's what does this whole, you know, you start throwing around, is he gay? You know, is it this? Is it that? And there ain't no shot to my same-sex brothers, you know what I'm saying? You know, but, you know, we live in a world that everyone's offended, right? So I don't want to offend nobody, but it's just to say that the trajectory is a man has to be one way or the other. When you can wear a lot of hats. You can evolve. You can change. You can connect, right? And it's a lot of my parts of life that I keep private, and I'm going to keep private. But the parts that I live in open space are for people to evolve. You can go back and look at it on film, and it's not for me like I just want Joshua's name to be a martyr. No, I'm a project baby. I ran for office. You can see the change in then and now, and it ain't for you to like. It's for the kids to see that they can do more.
And you're still evolving.
They can have more. You know, they can, and that's why I'm so open about where I'm at with God. Because people be like, oh, no.
Yeah.
So, you know, is to give people that realistic, you know, that.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. And that makes a very good point. But I also feel like people that are jealous, though, it's whatever a person has, they possibly want that. And that's just what it is. And so you continue to walk in your light. You continue to walk in your light. Because I feel like the things that we all go through in life are really not for us. It's to help other people. So that's just kind of how I look at it. But before we end, though, I really want to get into this merch. Okay, this shirt. Yeah, so if we can like get a close up just on the shirt part there. Because I always mess it up when I say it.
Yeah, so basically, I took this from, mental health is just a regular thing.
Yeah.
You know, that's the field that we're in,
Uh-huh.
all of it. But I don't know the guy's name. I want to give him credit to the term. So initially when I saw this
Oh, let me get your mic so you can see.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I initially took it, this guy had men to heal. Mm-hmm. Okay. And which is a frame or a phrase or a term that we can all use.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Especially as a mental health therapist. Mm-hmm. But for me, I started thinking about the old hymns and stuff like that. We shall overcome.
Yes, Lord.
You know, so I put versus men to heal, I put men shall heal. And then I thought about the things that I went through, especially in 2015. And so this man right here, he has a gun to his head and he ends up committing suicide. So as you can see, his blood is splattered on the other side.
Yeah.
You know, and this is why we need to, because we're so to that point where we don't express,
Yeah.
we don't share, we bottle stuff down, and then those behaviors is because we're avoiding it.
Yeah.
We're not healing.
Yeah.
And then the can keeps getting shaken over the years and keeps getting shaken. And then one day, that one thing, whether it's you grieve a relationship.
Yeah.
Or you got to go to court. Or for some, a child has passed. Or a relationship, some type of relationship, whether your mother, grandmother, something happens that just really is like, okay, I don't even know how to handle this anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and this is where we turn to because we never had that brave space.
Right.
Or we thought we didn't have it. So even though it's graphic and it's really challenging to put a guy with a gun on the side of his head and he's, so that's why I say we shall heal.
Yeah.
Because it's a work in progress.
I love that concept. I love that idea. This conversation has been so good, so rich. Thank you for being here with us on today. We definitely appreciate your expertise and your perspectives. So we're about out of time, but make sure, guys, you subscribe and you share if this episode encouraged you. But until next time, remember, healing is a process and growth is intentional. Until next time, give yourself grace and stay grounded in faith.